Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And in this video, I wanted to talk about this interesting slide from the Analyst Day on Verizon, which was titled Improving Capital Efficiency Over Time. So, what Verizon pointed out that in 2024 or starting in 2024, they would have a reduction of 12% on the capital intensity. So in 2021, it moved up to 12.3 billion. This year, it's going to be 22.5, which is the peak year of their investment. Then it goes down to 19.5, and then it levels off at 17 billion, at least of what they're guiding until 2025. Now, the expected key drivers that you see on the right here. C-band accelerated 10 billion spend concludes in 2023. Less reliance on full 4G LTE capacity over time, which is true as more people shift to 5G. As I told you guys in the previous video, eventually that LTE network is gonna be a single carrier of 5 megahertz, and then eventually it will just be all 5G. And then here's another important one: completion of one fiber core build in 2023. And then the last one, IEN efficiencies result in virtualization benefits. So virtualizing the core or the network, AT&T has already been doing that for years. That is something that John Donovan implemented. So it looks like AT&T is a bit further ahead on the virtualization of the network. And Verizon is now going to get caught up to that in a big way, especially with the spend. Now, a lot of people sent me messages, emailing me, saying that they're concerned about this 12% reduction in capital. Seems like Verizon is getting less capital intensive when, in fact, they may need to do even more because there's additional C-band sites that are now available starting in 24. Is when all of that spectrum clears so you can deploy it wherever you would like. That's when people thought that Verizon would even accelerate even more to start that rural build out. And then, there was several other complaints, but what I wanted to kind of emphasize here is the third part of the expected key driver: completion of one fiber core build in 2023. That fiber build is taking a good chunk of CapEx, of the current CapEx out. So going into 2024, Verizon is dropping the CapEx 12%, but they no longer have to take out a chunk of CapEx to fund fiber. So in a way, they're kind of giving themselves a higher fund on wireless by not having to take a chunk out for fiber. Yeah, they did drop the capital intensity, but they're still going to be able to spend a aggressive chunk on wireless. They have a lot, even outside of 2023 going into 24, they have a lot of stuff that's going to require capital intensity. Not necessarily having to pull from the cash flow, from the free cash flow, but they do have a good amount of sites that they need to go back to and rip out the radios, modernize the radios to get the DSS radios up on the site. So it's gonna take material, physical labor. They have to send tower crews to the sites to rip out these radios for DSS, and of course also get C-band up on the site. And once that one fiber build is complete, they no longer have to take that chunk out of the CapEx. So they're kind of giving themselves a pay raise, so to speak, by not having to fund the fiber build. Yeah, there'll still be some fiber going out, I'm sure, but it's going to be very, very little. And then everything else on fiber now gets handed off to the operations cost, which they told us recently. Verizon said they're going to save $300 million because they don't have to lease fiber. And that's going to increase, this year. And then I would say next year, as they get more sites with their own fiber, they're gonna be less reliant on having to lease fiber, so that amount is going to go up, and that's savings that they're going to get with the operations already included on what it's going to cost to maintain that fiber. So that's what they're going to save after that fact. So again, very, very aggressive numbers from Verizon. They know what they need to do. They know what their targets are, and they know how to get there. And they're going to do so very aggressively. So again, DSS is going to be added in. Again, with DSS, you could move to a standalone core. You can aggregate. You could do all that. C-band is going to be a big factor in this. And then just to finish off the video, the 12% reduction in CapEx, not a big deal. At $17 billion, they're still spending, like I said in the previous video, when T-Mobile drops off to $9 to $10 billion that they're guiding on their CapEx, Verizon's still spending $7 to $8 billion more on CapEx for the year. Unless that changes for T-Mobile and T-Mobile further increases their CapEx, which could happen. It's a possibility. But for now, Verizon is spending a lot of money. I mean, they've been spending a lot of money. Even before 2021, if you look between 2015 2020, their CapEx has been between 16.7 and 18.2 billion. That's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. They just increased it to ramp up C-band, which they're doing in a big way. They were always spending money on, I think since 2018, around that time frame, they've been spending money on the fiber deployment. So that's coming. And then we all know millimeter wave is a very big focus. 33,000 sites or millimeter wave nodes on air now. And that's only going to increase as we move through this year and 2023. So let me know what you think about this in the comment section down below. Leave all your comments in the comment section. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe to the channel. Follow the social media outlets for more updates and interactions. This is Tyrone with Tech Life, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.